Welcome, everybody, to our final rankings of the season as we head into the finale. I see sad faces, and I want to pull confetti that we're almost done with the season, but
no, I love this season. Don't even.
Anyway, how are y'all feeling going into this finale? This underwhelming finale with a bunch of edited people that have been under-edited.
So underwhelmed.
It's underwhelming because of the edit.
It's definitely the edit. For sure.
I have the winner, and he is a complete idiot, and I love it, and I hate it at the same time because I'm gonna win, but my guy's a moron, so it is what it is.
Deshaun?
Well, your guy is a moron. I'm not convinced you're gonna win, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think but he's the worst person to represent
this season.
Camp out.
That's hard.
And camp out. Yeah, I agree. He single-handedly destroyed camp out. Single-handedly.
It was all his fault.
Him Uncle Deshaun, Aspen? Is that what you would call him?
Uncle Deshaun?
No, he's like my fifth cousin that I can't
say. He's your cousin.
It was an Uncle Tom joke. It was an Uncle Tom joke.
Oh.
It was Uncle Tom.
I mean, he is a little I want to cry because of the race thing, but then also at the same time, I don't want to make it about race at all, Heather.
Right.
I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you might as well just go ahead on and say you do instead of being like, no, Heather, I don't want y'all to treat me no kind of way because that's exactly why you did that.
That's exactly what you cried about. Yeah. Then don't vote out your fucking camp out members.
He wouldn't have acted that way if he didn't want some sort of thing from them.
Exactly. He ain't getting it from two of them. So you could try though.
There's no way. I don't even know. I mean, I guess Danny would, but I don't think Danny should vote for this man.
Mike is here.
Xander was sucking his dick like, oh my God, Deshaun. Oh, you spoke so quickly. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Your reenactment is killing me.
Hello, Mike. What a part to come in on.
Come on, sucking dick.
How did you all feel about this? Well, how did you feel, Mike, about this episode?
I mean, it was okay. I wasn't exactly happy with. I don't think they're sticking the landing. I wasn't impressed with that episode. It was kind of, I guess, lame is the right word. It's just disappointing. I can feel what way this season is going, and I'm not happy with it. And it's like, I just gotta live with it.
Well, it was all of a sudden, our only choices are the two black guys. Xander's not at all a choice. He's not even a conversation to see if we can make him feel safe to get him out when it's the last time he could use his idol. There was it was just Deshaun or Danny. Which one do we want? Because they're the last two.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I really.
At the end of the day, no. Here's how it is. They obviously picked off Shan, and I'm just saying, you know how it goes. Once you pick off one black bowling ball, all the rest of them gone. It's just so crazy how I'm watching this season and them being like, oh my God, it's the most diverse season we've ever had in our whole entire lives. And then they pick off every single black person back to back. That shit is so weird.
It also made the edit so performative. There's the last couple episodes that I've hated it, but
it's for sure the edit. I think we need to get past this hurdle. I'm really happy for this 50% CBS promise. But I think we have to get past the narrative surrounding the 50% now. I feel like Big Brother, we're just surrounding, which makes sense because theoretically this is the first season where there could be a Black Alliance, So obviously there is a narrative around that, but if editors know that this is what happens in the damn story, don't make it so.
The thing is though, Big Brother pulled it off, and Big Brother made it look amazing. The way that they came together just as a culture and community and had this we don't need to like each other, we can fight with each other, but we're still going to keep this word that we have with us and show that we can do it, just to have somebody that looks like us and represents us to be in the end. The camp out, they just failed so hard, and honestly Deshaun was the ringleader of that,
and he shouldn't cry about it.
His culture looks so, in a second they'll just turn on each other like that.
Yeah.
Like he's giving into the stereotypes.
Yeah.
I can second that. Absolutely.
He's also giving into the stereotype about like, you know, men wanting women who don't like men wanting women who are more dominant to go. You know, like if you're not listening to me, then you gotta go. You're too dangerous. You're too like scary. Like the thing is, they could have really had a majority at 7 and then play around it, but they really had to like dip into like Ricard's move makes sense. Deshaun and Danny to go through it, it's just not great for their game. And now this aftermath, I also think the edit makes it really much worse than it already is, but it just feels kind of like awkward leading into the finale. Because on paper, I'm down for this final 5 because I feel like this is what, like, you know, it's fine, whatever. But the way they told the story to me makes it like kind of worse.
It makes it underwhelming, like we said.
Yeah.
CBS has this thing about virtue signaling that I can't stand. Like I'm all for the, like I am 100% for their recent initiative to get a more diverse cast and get it 50-50. But you can do that without announcing to the world you're doing it. At the point, like you can totally just do that behind the scenes, you know, because it's the right thing to do and it encourages a more varied gameplay. But you don't have to tell like, hey, look at us, look at what we're doing. So I think a lot of their editing is falling in line with that sort of virtue signaling line.
I mean, it goes back to him first episode being like, should we drop the guys? Like, just drop it.
Exactly.
You don't need to make it.
You don't have to blame Ricard in the edit.
Why is it even a question? Just drop it. Like,
there's been like a recent trend of news outlets writing ridiculous titles to get both sides riled up. And I think this is like a very much less extreme version of that, but CBS is definitely doing this. Like they are simultaneously casting 50% diversity while shooting themselves in the foot by making it so grandiose that everyone's like, dude, what the like, just get on with the game, you know? Like now everyone's like, a lot of my friends are mad at Ricard because he made a comment about wanting the guys being taken off, but I'm pretty sure that's a production thing because when Jeff, you know, suggested it, no one said anything. And so that made him look like a dumbass, you know? So like someone else had to do it. So now like people are just mad at Ricard for that and like haven't let that go. And it's just like there's so much edit stuff that's like around this diversity topic, and it makes it just much more cringy, especially when the camp out failed, like not even close, and it was a kind of brutal way to go, you know? So it's really
Heather also isn't doing any favors to the like white suburban stay-at-home mom community.
Yeah.
Like she's like, well, I needed to be here. This was my time. For what? To realize that
what are you
racism
talking
is a
about?
thing? Where have you been?
Yeah.
What are you what's happening?
The white savior complex.
I feel like what we need to see, and this could just be me, I don't know. Like I think in a lot of ways what Deshaun did by betraying the camp out, it's like for the longevity of the game of Survivor, what we need is diverse alliances, because I don't think like the problem is like the alliances now on both sides just seem to be all one type of person, or like we need a diverse alliance, because if people start breaking off based on like race and stuff at the beginning of every season, this is going to be a slippery slope. So I think what Deshaun did in a weird way by betraying the camp out might halt that sort of narrative in future seasons, or I hope it does, where people aren't going to be like this group's just going to get together, so let's pick them all off.
See, the problem with that though is it's the white players that start this, so it's going to have to be the white players that dictate that. I don't think Deshaun doing this actually helps in any sense.
I mean, Fanga, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's just the show he made of it, and like the crying and like the whole big thing.
He's cringe. He's
so
cringe.
So cringe.
He's so cringe just about everything. And I just, yeah, no, he's cringe. And I do think he wins the season. I still say that. I think he's going to win. But
I see it too because of the edit, but I just don't understand how. Like in this season's edit, Deshaun has had a consistent storyline this entire game. He is the only one who has that like storyline.
So has Ricard.
I was about to say no.
Ricard was more of like Shan's number in the beginning. Deshaun, if you remember in Luvu, like it was constant Deshaun storyline. So right now it does seem like he's supposed to win, but I just don't understand how any one of the jury would vote for him after watching these tribals, after knowing how he plays. If they vote for him in the end, I think this could be a really bad winner. Like for me, I just can't respect it.
I hope they all take Heather to the end because they think they can beat her, and then
They're
jury
going.
gives it to
I don't
her.
think she's gonna win, but they're gonna.
I don't think she'll win, but yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be okay with that more than Deshaun at this point because at least she has.
Don't get your hopes up, Mike. I see you down there.
Oh, I don't have my hopes up at all. I forgot Heather was still in the game until they were running the little promo for finale night. I'm like, oh
yeah, she
finale,
still
that's
wasn't
cool.
featured.
And then Heather was in there, kind of.
Well, we might as well get into it. Heather is still our number 5. If you have anything to say about Heather going into the finale.
No shot. No shot.
The purple edit is insane here.
It's bad. It's really,
Purple
really
Heather.
bad.
I can't believe she made it to final 5.
I mean,
she's gonna make it to final 3. She's gonna make it to the end.
She's a perfect goat, and I'm not that surprised she made it. I don't know. I haven't seen someone be this purple in a while, but
she's gonna be so happy
wait.
about herself and think it's because she's so great.
No, she's iconic. She's gonna live in infamy. Like,
I mean, is she iconic? She's
no, the idea of her is iconic. The idea of her is iconic. Someone who has no edit, but she seemingly was crazy. Like she was going around saying she had a dream that Sydney was going after her. Like, come on, like that is prime.
She'll
I
be
want to
forgotten
share
by Survivor 43. But go ahead.
I was gonna say I wanted to share my friend's prediction, right? And this is based off this past episode. So she thinks there's a possible way that Heather doesn't make it to the end, and that is by Erica choosing Deshaun over Heather to go to the end, and that's how Deshaun beats everyone, and Heather doesn't make it to the end and all that stuff. And I feel like that could happen. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like it could be a Xander, Deshaun, Erica, Chicken Alliance, whatever, like at the end. With given the edit, that would be crazy if that's how it happens, because that seems the most consistent. I don't know. Erica was kind of invisible the whole first 8 episodes or whatever. So
It's
I don't know.
really tough. That's why it's so tough for me to see her winning. Really,
logically she should win this game. Like Ricard should go out. Xander should go out.
I mean, logically Ricard should win.
Well, yes, but I'm saying like Ricard is the top
right.
target, you know.
Logically, Ricard should be voted out as soon as he doesn't win the competition.
Yeah, like last week.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, but they didn't do it, and look what happened. He won.
Danny was right, Meg. Danny was right.
I'll talk about it when we actually get to Ricard. Let's get.
Man, let's just pour one out for Danny, man.
We can't even. Heather's so forgettable. We always go to other people on Heather's time. So yeah.
So enough about Heather. Let's talk about Danny real quick.
Yeah, we're like the people still in the game. I'm like, let's talk about the person not in the game.
Go Cowboys.
He played very solid.
Danny didn't deserve to win though.
But he did a great job. He did a great job.
Kind of dumb though. He was not a great strategist, but a great social player.
He was just like the quintessential good guy of the season. Like just the him and Nasir were both just kind of like the good-natured good guys.
Yeah.
But what did he do in that challenge though? What was he doing?
Who the heck knows?
I don't know.
He was not very good
an athlete, bro.
Yeah, he kind of made being an ex-Cowboys player kind of cringe. Like he didn't do.
Say that in front of my husband.
You should have just shut up about that part. Like, why'd you even come clean about it? Like, you could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Him and Deshaun seemed like they genuinely had a friendship. Like at that point, one of us is gone. I'm gonna tell my friend the truth that I lied. Yeah, why not come clean at that point?
So votes on Xander.
Some people bring that up on Twitter. I don't know.
I would have liked to have seen them stick together and thrown their votes on someone.
That's how bad they are in this game strategically.
Like it might not have succeeded, but at least you had a shot. Like at least you had a little shot.
Yeah. And if you're genuinely friends, I feel like you can agree, like honor code, let's just vote together.
Yeah, why
instead
vote
of
for each other
voting
anyway?
for each other.
Yeah,
And give
they
us
just
a
sat down and was
slim
like,
hope.
so you're gonna vote for me and I'm gonna vote for you. Okay, cool. Thanks, bye.
Because
By the way, I was
they're gonna
popular.
pick between you anyways. At least try to pitch your case as a unified front.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's partially why the episode sucked, because those two did not, like, they're not good strategists. You know, we've seen Deshaun make mistakes after mistakes with strategy. And what's funny was Deshaun was kind of clocking Danny's social game. And I was like, because he was saying how, like, oh, you know, Danny keeps himself more. I talk more. Honestly, brother, like, no. Like, Danny's a better social player than you are. I feel like if it weren't for Danny having an idol, it definitely would have been Deshaun going home. And yeah, like Deshaun.
I feel like Deshaun was mixing up social game for a more aggressive player.
Yes, he's aggressive, but I don't know.
But it's also important to remember we don't see 23 hours out of the
That's
day
true.
and the millions of other interactions that go on around camp.
That's true.
Stuff.
But do you think they tried to go to Ricard and get, I mean, all they would have needed is one more person to vote Xander.
Yeah. It would have been
I
a
would hope they
blind
did.
spot.
According to the edit, not so
The
much.
only thing I could think is that every single other person voting went up to both of them. Because at this point in any game of like that nature, you're pretty tight at 6. Like you pretty much, when it starts at that big, you know everyone by that point. So you're kind of tight with everyone. So I just imagine that everyone kind of just said, it's one of y'all. And that's kind of what everyone else was saying, just to kind of throw any idle thing off.
I don't know. Even Ricard was like, Erica and Heather, like, who are you? I've known you 10 days.
Yeah, there could have been a crack for sure.
Oh, I would have voted as a united front if I were them, if for no other reason than just solidarity in general with your game long partner. Like,
right.
Or just for the culture, you know, like how y'all gonna turn on each other the last one? That just
Deshaun has
They
zero class for
suck.
the culture. I'm sorry.
They suck.
yeah, I don't think Deshaun's priorities were for the culture at all.
Not at all.
no, definitely not. I wanted it to be though, you know, like
They act like it was gonna be like that.
I mean, and that's why it was an important conversation, I think, to when he was so cringe about it. But I think it was an important conversation to say, look, playing for yourself versus playing for the culture, because this is a real internal battle that a lot of these players are going through. The way it was like,
It's because his crying comes off as fake.
it was just so cringe.
And it was.
Yes. The way he did it was just so cringe.
Well, at number 4 is Xander.
what?
Listen. For some reason, no one thinks he's a threat. No one thinks he can win anyone's
Which can be a
votes,
good sign.
which could make him win at the end. Honestly, if he's aware of that perception, and then at Final Tribal was like, I made you guys think that no one would vote for me, and I never had to use my idol. Like that would solidify. I would vote for him at that point if he was that aware. For me, like voting at the Final Tribal Council, I look at who's aware of their perception in the game. If he's over here saying, oh, I was always in danger, like I've always, you know, I fought to the end. No, you didn't do much of that, but you made them all think you're not a threat, and now you are at the final 3. Like that's something that I would be like, okay, maybe I should vote for this guy.
Still didn't have to play his idol too, so
And he was in danger earlier in the game.
He
for a
was,
while.
but now, like since merge, dude, like ever since that first fake idol thing, I mean, where Leanna tried to steal his idol, like he wasn't like a huge target, and then people like kind of made him a goat forcibly, like because of that, which is great on everyone else, but I hope he owns that at the end. Like that would be kind of cool to see him say that.
You know he won't. You know he's gonna.
No,
act
I know
like
he
he's
won't.
The most
That's
brilliant
why
strategist
he's the
to ever
goat.
touch the game. He didn't have to play his idol, and he masterminded every vote.
Yes,
He
he's
got the
gonna
alliance
say
of those
that, and
people
everyone's like,
together. He's so brilliant. That's what he's gonna say.
I mean, he takes the credit for the whole Ricard move. Like he was like, oh, like I'm in the majority. Like he's not gonna do it. That's why they're putting him as a go. They know his ass won't do what's supposed to be done for his game. So Xander is at 4. Yeah, I mean, I would put Ricard lower because
If we go, I do have Ricard lower because I just think he's gone.
I'm scared that he
I just want to say I didn't rank on who I thought would win for this one. I just ranked who I actually thought played the best games up to this point.
Okay, so
in
Ricard
that
number
case,
1.
Ricard should be number 1 with a bullet.
By a long
and
shot.
actually, as weird as it sounds, I think Xander falls into number 2 in my hierarchy because the only person he shouldn't beat in the final is Ricard of the remaining players. Everyone else has just done nothing or played bad. Deshaun, cough, cough. And the rest of them have done nothing.
But I feel like Xander's also played bad.
Xander has played bad, but not Deshaun bad.
He unironically got himself out of danger and like not a threat anymore, which is like perfect. I just wish he was aware enough to be like, hey guys, I did that on purpose. Like that would be so cool if he was like doing that. Like I would have loved to see that unfold. Like him just making himself not a target the entire time.
Now I will say though, Fat Guy, we've talked about odds. This is before last night's episode though. But after last week's episode, Xander did pass both Deshaun and Erica as the favorite to win, but it was by the slimmest of margins. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I actually just had to think about it because we there's this thing called recency bias where we see what we see recently and we're biased towards, that's what's on our mind the most. Yeah. And so I think it's important not to forget all the bonehead shit Xander did earlier in the game because he really did play bad. Like he really did play he really did some dumb stuff earlier that I argue would rival some of Deshaun's moronic things. So I don't know, man. I kind of think anyone should win over those two.
Yes. That's why Xander's number 4 here.
That's true, but listen, Xander, y'all need to give Xander his credit, y'all.
We gave him the credit.
Credit for what exactly, Aspen?
Yeah. That's all the credit he gets. Listen, and he's gonna claim at Final Tribal that the whole Leanna thing was his idea. Like he's gonna be like, I did that, But Evie and Tiffany are gonna be like, no, we did that. Like he's not gonna be able to clearly define his case to why he should win. His only case is I made everyone not think of me as a threat, even though I had an idol. That is the only claim, and he was still a threat aside from Ricard. So like. He should claim those 2 things, and that's it. Do not start claiming.
He started the game with like 4 advantages. He came up from the bottom. He was a comp beast, and he did, when it was time to kind of fly under the radar for a little bit and let everybody else take each other out. I think you're making him sound. He did some dumb shit,
but I don't
with
think
all those advantages, he did nothing for his game, which is terrible in my opinion.
But he didn't need them.
But he could have popped his own game.
He definitely needed that.
He could have used them to at least secure jury votes that I don't think he's going to have to win the game.
Listen,
I think the other people might have fucked up bad enough that he would get the jury vote.
All I'm saying is I don't think he'll accurately define his game. I think he's going to start claiming moves that just makes him out to be an idiot, just like Deshaun. And that's why I think Erica's going to win this game. Okay, next.
He's not a great speaker. So like I can see him. Good speaker.
Yeah, he's good. That's what I'm saying.
The jury's not going to want to vote for anyone but Ricard. Like if Ricard's the jury's going to be in a spot where I don't want to vote for you, or you. So let me pick the less of the 3 evils. And that's how Deshaun's going to win this game.
No, please, no, Eric. I mean, please, no, Deshaun. That makes no fucking sense.
What are you going to say, Mike?
I coughed Erica. Like, I think if we're picking the least offensive of the 3, like offensive to the jury, not like offensive is like a bad person. I feel like it has to be Erica. Like Xander does too much. Deshaun does too much. They love Ricard, but he's probably not going to be there. So I feel like the most likely final 3 we're looking at is some combination of Erica, Deshaun, and Xander or Heather. And I feel like Erica could totally win that just because the jury actively dislikes the other jurors, or I'm sorry, other finalists more than they like Erica, but they're like, hey, you're the most palpable of these people. So congratulations, Erica. And
she's gonna be able to speak. Like
maybe Jeff and the editors are just pissed at how she wins because of that, and they're like, "Fuck you, Erica! You get like 3 confessionals in the first 4 episodes. Have fun."
Aspen, I'll give you the last word on Xander.
Well, okay.
Xander.
I'll wrap it up by saying this. So me and my friend was talking. Shout out to my boy Andrew. Hey. We was talking, and so I really do think Xander has a really good shot. Y'all are misinterpreting him not being able to speak. Y'all know he went to college. Okay.
What? I've seen the most boneheaded people at college. We're not that smart. Like people who went to college, not that smart, dude. I promise you. What did he
To
make?
college. I barely speak.
Yeah, I think Xander got a good shot. He my last hope. So
he has a shot, but the thing that ended it for me, I mean, I've been down on Xander all season, was in the preview. I talked about Van Dyke with this before this episode. I find the preview so predictable. Xander got the only positive edit in the fucking preview for the finale, which means he's not going to win because they like to give fake edits like that.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. I hope Deshaun talked about it. I wish Deshaun talked more in that preview too.
Wait,
you know who didn't talk in the preview? Heather.
I would vote Xander over Deshaun.
Okay. See.
I want Deshaun to win over Xander because he's on my team.
I know, but realistically, who would you vote
realistically,
for?
if Deshaun wins this season,
like he might went to college, but computer nerds don't know how to speak in public.
That's true.
I know.
We just stereotype all of them.
He
You
said
feel like it's gonna come down to
all the
Deshaun.
computer nerds out there.
You feel like it's going to come down to Deshaun versus Erica, really. I mean, that's how I feel. Like it's going to be those.
I mean, it's going to be between those two. I just think that if Deshaun wins and one.
Well, let's get to number 3 because that is Deshaun. So we might as well just continue to talk about Deshaun.
All right, let's go. Yeah. Listen, they edited that guy really badly. If he is the winner, they edited him into something that just doesn't make sense. Like we're 41 seasons in. If this is the gameplay that wins,
they're oblivious to their editing. Have we not figured this out by now?
They probably.
I really
have to be.
I really believe they think they're giving him this good edit. Like he's.
Well, listen. On Twitter,
really
some people still like Deshaun, and I'm very confused. Like I'm very confused.
Jeff Probst is delusional, so it makes a lot of sense. And Jeff Probst loves him some Deshaun, so
he likes Deshaun.
What? Yes, absolutely. What was up with Jeff being like, Deshaun is hoping for a letter to fall out of the sky? He was hinting at it like they actually was gonna do it, and then nothing happened from it. And I'm just like, okay. So awkward. He always calling Deshaun out. He like, oh, Deshaun, you smiling so beautiful at tribal. Like, shut the fuck up, Jeff. Shut up.
No, Jeff has the weirdest crushes in these seasons. Like he'll have the weirdest like fixations on people.
It's always a male too.
It's always the male. That is true. Boston Rob, Colby, I don't know. Like
the weather guy, Rick
Devins.
Him too.
I also have a huge obsession over Rick Devins, but I think he's great.
Okay, Alex.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, back to Deshaun.
I saw this comment on Reddit, and it perfectly summed up everything I felt. It's actually a post. It perfectly sums up everything I feel about Deshaun. And the highlight for it is basically just that he is simultaneously somehow extremely smug and extremely whiny at the same time. And it's just this like perfectly irritable combination. That's how
You have said that from the beginning, Packer.
Wait.
But how does the jury vote for Deshaun then, Packer?
Yeah, if Dot doesn't win, then I love you, Dot.
Think,
but
again, I don't even know. I don't know if it's just our perception, like not this panel, but like humanity, like the society in general. Like, I don't know if it's just our perception of Deshaun is super cringy, but you can tell, like, I really believe like these editors think they're making him up to be this really strategic, like his little outburst at Tribal, which did no favors for him. Only bad, no good could come from that. Why would you even do that? Because there's no good possibility. It was no facto, don't do it. Like his moves are so bad, but I feel like they're editing them to have merit. And his like backstabbing of his alliance, they're editing that to have like merit. Like, look, I backstabbed my alliance so I could win the game. I went against my culture so I could win the game. That's how they
God, that would be so bad.
And
so if the narrative,
I think that's the narrative they think
to train the culture to win and it works. No, that can't be the arc here. That
No,
actually makes sense. That
Can y'all not
actually
see that though? Can y'all not see that?
No,
Oh, I
I
definitely
see
see
it.
it.
I hate it. I see it. I hate it. I don't want it. Let's not have it. Like,
yeah,
because
I think that's bad editing on
that's
them, and
bad.
it makes Black people not want to watch Survivor. Just being
Oh,
honest,
100%.
because it's like
100%.
I don't even want to watch Survivor if that's what happened.
I don't think they're perceiving it that way.
if he
again,
beats
this is
Erica
this is-
because
this
of
is-
that, no.
This is just like, I don't know, random white guy exes.
No.
I don't think they're
think
trying
it
to
makes
make it
sense.
racial. I don't think they're trying to make it racial.
No, they're just
they are,
delusional.
but they're not. I don't think they're trying to make it.
Of course.
He betrayed the culture, therefore he won.
But that's gonna be what happened.
That's
Yeah.
real humans' perception because we're like, not morons. But I don't think that's what CB like. That's not what they're trying to put out there. They're just trying to put out there. He did everything he had to do to win. I think they're trying to build him up.
If Do or Die didn't exist,
put
he would
the
have been
culture
gone by
down.
now. Like if Do or Die did not exist, he would have been gone. I don't know what kind of production thing that was because he picked the right box somehow. He was the one who got that twist. Like if that didn't happen, that guy was gone. Like Danny wouldn't have gone, Leanna wouldn't have gone. It would have.
Probst has a crush on him, so he's like leaning towards the box on the right. He's like, which box would you like to pick?
It's like if that's the reason, if he wins and like this season would turn like 180 degrees. Is that right? And it'd be the other way. Like I can't.
Even though you're
Like,
supposed to switch, boxes, would you like to switch boxes?
Don't do it.
You
Would
guys-
you want to?
You guys
It's
ever
not
seen
editing.
Slumdog?
Are you
Slumdog
sure?
Millionaire?
No, never.
You see
said what?
Slumdog Millionaire where this poor kid's on a quiz show and he's like towards the end and he goes in the bathroom and the host writes an answer on the mirror in the fog. That's Deshaun going to the bathroom at Survivor camp and he looks at a tree and he's like, does that say left box? What does that mean? He gets the tribal and
box.
he picks that one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
No.
wouldn't either.
No, me either. Me
Somebody
holding
in
it,
production
Jeff. I'm
had like a
holding
little laser pointer that they were like,
Holy shit!
It's so funny us calling out production on this podcast, yo.
I mean, it's
still
like
think
Cook
they're
Island
oblivious.
all
I don't
over
think they
again.
realize how oblivious they are. I truly don't. I think they are so oblivious and don't even.
Your prediction, like your perception of what they might be thinking and what actually will happen. Like if that that sounded really convoluted. Like what you just said about CBS editing this way and thinking that the outcome is, oh, he would do anything to win. And then the outcome being us looking at it being like, did he just betray the culture and that's what we're rewarding him for? Like that's really accurate. I think that might be the actual outcome here, and I will be really upset. Just
the end of Survivor.
That would be the end of it wouldn't be the end of Survivor, but it would
Drop
be
the 4, keep the 1. This is new Survivor, guys. Come on.
got both.
Yes,
No more Survivor
CBS is
at
just
all.
not. They're not forward thinking. They're just not aware. They're not self-aware.
They're too ahead.
Hence their
They're-
whole like virtue signaling, like publicity stuff.
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood in general. I
Yeah,
hate Hollywood.
touche.
I mean, didn't they win?
Hollywood.
Didn't they win a GLAAD award for like gay representation? But it was like a season where it was like, I think they did, but it was a season where like someone outed Zeke as trans.
Game changers. They won
It
the
was
game changers.
it was literally
Wow.
that season.
It's brilliant.
And like that is the virtue
Great.
signaling that is going to happen here,
Oh, yeah.
because why
NAACP
would
award.
anyone who the hell decided that they should win a GLAAD award for outing someone on live television? Why is that awarded and rewarded? That is the weirdest thing to me.
I
They're
genuinely
going to do the
can't
same
stand
shit here. The NAACP will somehow award them for this season. Just saying. Like it could happen. Like it's twisted. This shit is twisted.
They're just so oblivious. They're just
Yeah,
fucking oblivious.
I agree.
I
I
don't
agree.
get it.
Fire
It's
the
annoying.
editors, hire Nick. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Period.
Period.
Well, unfortunately, season 42 has already been recorded and probably edited. So we're probably going to be in for a very similar season to 41 with a similar twist.
Oh no.
So be happy about that.
No.
Anyway, any
Ah.
last thoughts on Deshaun and his game?
Fuck Deshaun. You not for the
Fuck
culture,
Deshaun.
and we canceling your ass. Period.
Yeah, no to Deshaun.
Well, we move on to the other person that has a chance of winning other than Deshaun, which is Erica at number 2.
it's where I had Erica. I think this is where she belongs. I'd say she's one of the top 2 or 3 contenders, probably second place, depending on if you think Ricard's more likely to win or Deshawn. I think Erica always fits in your second place. Well, if it's not them, it's probably Erica, depending on where you fall in that debate. So, she's just, I think, the least offensive of everyone left to the jury. She's this perfect middle character. She's not Heather. She's not Deshawn. Like, she's not overexposed. She's not underexposed. Like, it's hard to find too many things she's done, but we've seen content from her where she's like, I'm doing this for my game because XYZ. This is why it's good for me. And
it's logical, and it's actually logical. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's thinking ahead, like, oh, I need to be able to differentiate my game from Heather. And probably also, she's probably thinking she'll get Heather's jury vote no matter what. And it's like, they don't want to tell us. They don't usually tell us when someone's like, oh, I'm putting them on the jury so I can get their vote. We don't usually see that unless it pays off in some flipping way.
And she's also gone her way towards the end.
She's gotten her way every single time.
Yeah, I love how she turned around.
Is it Heather's way?
It's her way.
Her
way.
How do we know this?
No, I love how she turned around to Deshawn like, you're welcome, Deshawn. You're welcome.
Okay. Why didn't we get this energy? Like, if Erica is the winner of this season, and now it does seem like, I just don't know who wins, but if Erica was the winner, there should have been more feistiness in the confessionals, because I know her, I bet your ass she would have those "you're welcome, Deshawn" energy in the confessionals, because that was really good tribal, like, jury management kind of like persona. She like owned his ass, and like it was just amazing. Like, where is that personality throughout the season?
How do they not turn on him? How do they not vote him out instead of Danny after his little
because he's the perfect goat. He's now the perfect goat, but I guess not. If the edit is the way it is, maybe he wins somehow. But he is a perfect goat because he did a dumbass truth bomb. That is a dumb move.
Yeah,
paired with a dumb move.
But I'm telling you, CBS is going to try to make it a good move. Like, I broke up when Heather and Erica break up in the next episode. It's like,
it's going to be because of him. Yeah,
he's going to be like, that was my move. I broke up Heather and Erica when I dropped the truth bomb. And it's just like, no, bro, you're a moron.
Actually, I can see Heather. I can see Heather doing some dumb shit because of what Deshawn. Like, I don't think Erica would actually do something crazy because of Deshawn, but Heather might. Like, I don't know. Maybe
when he was talking, this is gonna be the seed that grows into the fruit of $1 million. And I'm like, what? You're trying to get out Heather? That's the like fruition moment. Like, okay.
It was sick because like, what did you think was gonna come from that? He just
everyone turns on Erica. Like, is that what you wanted? I don't get it. You just
when you could have just kept it to yourself. You could have just shut the fuck up and kept that to yourself. And
if
then
they vote you out, then say it. Say it when there's snuff in your torch. Wait till they vote your ass out and then be like, oh yeah, well, do what I did to Alex. On your way out the door, once it's done.
This is what Fan Guy did to me.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I've been there. Wait till at least you're out. Wait till at least you're out. Don't just go, I'm suspicion that I might get voted out, so let me just do all this shit. No, wait till you're out.
Yeah.
Then throw shade.
What Fan Guy did changed my game. Like, you exposing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it works, but at the right occasion. And like, he turned on the only person who would take him over Heather. Like, that's the only person who did talking with you. Like, I'm so confused by the edit. Like, there's no way, right? That CBS is like, this is going to make everyone think he's a good player.
They're so oblivious, though. I'm telling you.
I don't know. Is that really?
Or, you know what? I want to say, like, I think it's also weird that people ain't like giving Erica the credit of being a person of color too. Like,
she had no other like diversity to work with just because of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's here and she's, she didn't even get a chance to speak at tribal when they talked about POC and stuff. Like, it was very confusing to me. Like, just everything that's happened so far, I'm like, the way they treat women in the show, the way they treat POC, like the way they tokenize these people, I'm like, dude, like at this point, let me just watch 18 white people again. Like, well,
No,
not really.
seriously,
Not really,
seriously.
but yes, kind of. Like, if the show's
Alex, you're getting like
again,
more and more heated as the conversation.
I know. You're becoming mean
Hey,
during this
hey,
conversation.
Alex.
I'm mad.
No. It's 16 white people and 2 tokens. Get it right. Come on. Remember
Yes.
CBS.
And they're always
come
out
on.
first. They're always out with
And a gay guy. Okay, there's a gay person in there somewhere. Not necessarily a guy.
Sometimes
I'm like,
they stick it onto
Sometimes the old
same
person goes first.
2 for 1.
Sometimes the
Sometimes
old
the old
person-
person goes
True.
first.
then the POC, and then it's a
Yeah.
really good white alliance. Yes, I agree.
Though I will say this, and again, this just could be ignorant white guy talk. I don't think the white alliances come together because they're white. I don't.
No,
I don't think it's like we're white. Let's get out all the non-white people. I don't
No.
think that's, and I think that's how a lot of people. Nick's like, like
Don't
there
you
might
think
be
it's their
members.
like
I don't think
implicit
it's 'cause
bias
they're,
though
like,
that's like
yeah.
making them think they can't trust these people
Yeah.
and they have more in common
They
with
feel
you?
like they're more alike than people who aren't.
It's the same thing I tell to all the ignorant white people who are like, the black alliances are racist. I'm like, no, they're not. You just don't you don't get it. People gravitate to what they can relate to. Sometimes that's not race. Like I said, sometimes that transcends race. And I'm hoping that that's where the world can get, is where it
Yeah.
always transcends race, because this is
does.
just these shows are a microcosm of society, and they can show how fucked up society is based on what we see go on in these games. And so I think these games, just like society, is striving for improvement, failing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I just want to get to the place where it transcends all that. But I do think people just gravitate to what they're comfortable around.
Yes.
And that
So I
goes
think there's
everywhere.
There's like no real difference between white alliances and black alliances. Like the reason why they gravitate is because they feel like they are.
Well, I think the biggest difference to the black
Well, the
line is
difference-
that it's
no,
a
it's-
reaction to the.
Well, yes, that, and also it's the reason why black alliances happen and any POC alliance happens is because there's just lack of opportunity. If we were given
Exactly.
50%, if we were given more opportunities early on, this at 41 would not be a black alliance. It would
This
be
is
all
why
over
they're happening now, is because
Because we're
there's
so
enough
late.
people that are of the same race
It
to be
has
able
to
to
happen.
make
First
an alliance
time.
outside
It
of
has
the
to
white
happen
community.
to get to where we're trying to get.
Yes.
This
It's all part of the
uncomfortable period
progress.
has to happen.
Yes, it's
Good
all
for
part of the journey to like actual equity between every single member of all the cast members. This is hard because it's the first season. Like, it's so convoluted because you have all these struggling issues. Like, there's not many black winners, there's not many this and that, and that's why it's so complicated. But like, just the way they edited this season, I'm just like, dude, you failed. Like, you did not get the assignment.
I mean, I will say Survivor was in a lose-lose situation coming into
Yes.
the season. I feel like, but they also brought it on themselves, really. So
They
I
did.
feel like,
They added extra dumbness to themselves the way they
And then you
edited.
got players like Heather who don't help
no.
with their
No.
with their
Live under a
with their
rock?
just
Like, where the fuck is
general
she?
with their
No,
general
she-
ignorance.
It's a very
They just
racist
don't help.
kind of take on it, to be honest. Like, not racist, but like, it's like choosing to be ignorant at this point. I feel like she's choosing to be ignorant. She's choosing to ignore any of these possible feelings, or these people they're not on her mind at all. So she has no like way of ever like thinking that could be a thing because they're not people to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she had,
I'm
really-
sorry, but the only way to be ignorant to it is if you literally have not looked at the internet or the television in the past like 3 years,
No, for
And
real.
that's-
For real.
that's
because
yeah.
it has been everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been the national talk of
Even
the
if you
entire
don't think it's like a
conversation.
real problem, you still know it exists.
It
The problem
exists.
exists.
Even if you don't believe it's a real problem too. Like,
Mm.
just her
That's what I mean.
response just screams.
She lives in her
either-
own little bubble. Like she
Yeah.
just lives in her own little
But-
world. You can just tell.
Let the girl
What?
learn.
That she never been around black
Hopefully
people.
Yeah,
she
let
goes
her
back-
learn. She does
Hopefully
need
she
to
goes
learn,
back a little more educated.
but she did not need to
Okay.
say. We did not need to air the part where she's
didn't.
like,
Okay,
"I need to
there-
be here."
Boy,
Yeah.
they doubled down
Like,
on
I
it.
need to be here.
And they doubled down on it because it was cringy last week when they showed the little clip of her at tribal. And this is why
It
I
was
think CBS
cringy
is
when
just
they
oblivious.
asked her about
And
it.
they doubled down on that shit this week, and it's like double cringe. What we cringed last week when y'all did this, and now y'all
Yeah.
are giving us a double dosage. of
Another
this
one,
cringe?
yeah. It's cringy that they asked Xander and Heather at the tribal and not Ricard and Erica, who are people of color. You know,
Xander
they had
says
no
some kind of cringe stuff too.
They both did.
I gotta
They
say,
both
Alex,
did.
I'm enjoying. I've seen you on Twitter be so gung ho about the season, but I'm enjoying you become more and more jaded. About the season during the podcast.
You know what's funny? Because like I'll always try to defend, like, oh, I still love this season, which I do, but like there is a lot of issues, and I guess watching it live makes it so much worse. Because if I'm binging it, it's over. Like it's not in my mind for a whole 2 months. Right now, like all I'm thinking about is how do we get a good winner out of the season? And like right now, if Deshaun wins, I'm gonna like jump.
Ricard can't beast out. That's how we get a good winner.
Please.
Okay.
He will.
I really hope
so.
he can.
What are you trying to say, Mike? What are you trying to
Really quick to jump back on the Heather thing. I don't know Heather as a person. None of us know Heather as a person. we don't know what she's got, her
We don't
beliefs
know.
and blah blah blah. What I'll say, the Survivor editors, we didn't need to see that.
Nope.
We did not need to see that. I will blame them. I'm not going to blame Heather. I'm going to blame the Survivor editors. We didn't need to see that. You didn't need to show us that from Heather. You didn't need to make Heather look ignorant. She probably is. I don't know, but she probably is. But we don't need to see that. I don't think it adds anything. Unless it becomes a storyline. But we didn't need to see it. That's my thought on it.
No, yeah, and especially when y'all got a million hours of other footage to air, that would make way more sense.
I know. Where did Meg go?
We don't need to see a white person talk about the struggle of Black people for the 8,000th time.
Or their complete lack of awareness.
Or their complete awareness. This is not cable news.
Wait, you struggling?
Right.
I need to be here.
Really?
I need to be here to see the struggle firsthand. Like what? Like why does she have 3 confessionals in this entire season, and one of them is about being a white savior and being like someone who needed to be here to witness? Like I'm so confused. Oh, we
are on Erica. We haven't had a lot to say about Erica, which I think sums up her fucking edit. But any other thoughts on Erica?
That's my whole problem with her game. Like
she deserves better. She deserves better edits.
Yeah, we've seen nothing. Yeah, again, I'm gonna piggyback on my boy Mike's statement and say I'm not gonna blame Erica necessarily.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
I'm gonna go ahead and say if she has done stuff, production has done a really crappy job of showing us, because it appears that she's done very, very little. And then it comes down to the classic argument of, do you vote for the person who did stuff but was terrible at it, or do you vote for the person who literally did nothing?
But do you count mistakes as doing stuff? Like you have to do stuff that like
some people
does something for you, right? Like
it couldn't have been that big of a mistake if you still got to the end after making it.
Yeah, but Deshaun and Xander have both made some mistakes that they became goats. That's how bad their gameplay is.
Some people just have the right circumstance that's like they're in the right setup or whatever, where there's very little that could happen in the game that's going to remove them from the game, and they can just screw up constantly and get to the end.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the mistakes were and how many you made.
And how can you explain yourself too? Like that's a very important aspect. Maybe Deshaun is great at explaining like how flawed he is as a player, a sob story about why he deserves to win. Maybe
he might just have more charisma than we're seeing. Like he might just literally have more charisma, and people out there maybe like him more than
we like him watching.
Yeah, more than we like him, and more than the edit is allowing us to like him.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
We shall see.
Well, number 1 is Ricard. I did put him at number 1, even though I don't think he's going to win, but I feel like he's played the best game up to this point. So I wanted to give him credit, but he's also the biggest target going into these last couple of rounds.
He's one immunity challenge and one fire making challenge for being $1 million prize winner. Like, congratulations. Good. That's a good game. If you know you're going to win, if you get to the end and you're realistically 1 and a fire making, or if you want to look at it as 2 challenges away from winning the season.
It is.
So that's
actually, yeah, you're right. He only needs to win one more immunity, and he could fire make whatever the fuck that's called, fire and get to the end. I hate that, by the way.
I think Ricard wins. I think he pulls it out.
That would be great. You know what? If that's the case,
at least end the season well.
then you can edit out like 30 minutes of this podcast of me just complaining because I'd be okay. I'd be okay.
Yeah.
All my rankings were the same. We're right this time.
Nice.
First time ever.
Nice.
Hopefully
I
it's
had
fixed.
Ricardo. I had Ricardo 1, but my bottom of my list was a little different.
I put him towards the bottom just because I don't think he's gonna get there, but he's definitely my pick of the person who should win. I think
Definitely
he
most
has to win.
liked.
Like, I think I would love to, he's the only good winner left.
Yeah.
He's a
But
great winner,
I think
let's
he
be honest.
has to win this next competition. Like
I mean,
100%.
he definitely has to.
100%, because they are all aware that if he gets to the end, he is going to get all the votes. It's not even going to be close. He's going to win in a landslide.
Well deserved. Well
Yeah,
deserved.
absolutely.
Can we dissect the preview? What is with the like? There's a weird things like him crying to Xander and Xander having a weird response. Like, what is happening? Does anyone have an idea?
The preview.
I don't know. He's probably begging Xander to play the idol on him, and Xander's like, no. And yeah, so
Shit, I don't know.
He can't
That
play
was
the
so-
idol anymore, though, right?
I think there's one more round.
5. No,
Yeah.
final 5.
Yo,
Oh, I thought
Xander
it was
just got a free final tribal, like $30,000. I don't know how much to get paid to be in final tribal, but he just got like free money. Like what? Oh man.
Nah, for real.
For all the shit I talked on Xander this season to make it to the end.
You know,
Right?
props to Ricard.
I stand by all the shit I
Ricard.
talked about. Xander. But go ahead.
Back to Ricard. Props to Ricard for. I'm generally pretty stubborn in my opinions of players. I did not like Ricard at the start of the season, like hardly at all. Like I
Really?
actively dislike Ricard, but no, he's really grown on me. He's funny, and he's played a good game, and I think he's earned it, and I hope he wins. So, hope he wins.
He's a true likable villain. He really
Yeah.
is.
I love Ricard.
Me
I
too.
mean, I think Mike put it perfectly. If you're at the end of the game and every single person left in the game knows you're going to win when there's 5 people left, you've played a good game. If
Yeah.
everyone knows that if you get to the end, you're going to get all the votes, you've played a damn good game. And
Yeah, but that makes it like even more painful when you don't get the million.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
who's going to have to lose in
Yeah.
fire? Or, I mean, I haven't seen, this fire thing is stupid. This season, I hate the fire.
We haven't seen any fires. I don't know who's gonna fire. Like, what is
Hey,
the
you guys
point?
know, you know who
Well,
that girl Jenny? She was keeping that.
we did
fire
get
close
we
to
did get
her.
illusions that he's bad at fire. So maybe he could lose fire making challenge.
When? I don't
When
remember.
Genie saying that Shannon Ricard can't make fire.
That'd be so heartbreaking because we just came from well, I don't want to spoil anything, but it would be heartbreaking to see someone fall at fire, who I think would be the best winner of the season. The cast seems to think would be the best winner of the season. Like them losing at the fire making twist, would really suck.
That would just be another way Survivor dropped the ball. The best player of the season goes out to fire at 4.
That'd be terrible.
This podcast has got. I'm on like highs and lows. Like this, I just thought about that. Like that would be painful to watch. Like watch Heather beat like Ricard or something, or like watch the Sean beat Ricard. I don't want to see any of. I don't want to see anyone but Xander beat Ricard in final because I feel like that's the only like possible way. Like you know, for, like, a challenge beast kind of thing. I can't watch Heather beat Ricard in the fire making challenge. Please,
Oh my
I don't want to
God,
see it. I don't want to
no.
do it. I don't want to see it. Oh, okay. But yeah, Ricard has the million for me. Hopefully he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been a nice jaded podcast. Any final thoughts?
I don't know. I still like it. Like I'm enjoying it. It's my first season to watch live.
Man,
Yeah.
next season needs to be good.
I don't think
Like
so.
it needs to
They
be
need
good.
to come with. They need to fire their whole crew and come
She needs
with
to come back immediately.
Yeah, captain the season next season with Shannon Ricard. Like, please.
Challenge All Stars is good for anyone out there.
Yeah, the challenge
Needs a new
all-stars is
reality
good. That's
show.
what I watch after Survivor to have a good cleanse of Survivor.
That's what I'm going to watch as soon as we're done with this.
Do not
Me
say
too.
you watch
I
the
guess I gotta watch. I guess I have to start watching now. I don't know.
Right? Dang, me too.
Like, I never had interest in watching the challenge or Big Brother, but then Big Brother, like the new season was like kind of cool, but
I think it'd be hard for you to like I don't know, connect with players on the challenge
Yeah.
now, having never watched it.
okay.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to go right into challenge all-stars.
It's like the double-edged sword of the challenge is that It'll drag you in if you've followed the players, because then you feel invested in the players that you've watched for seasons and seasons and seasons. But on the other side, it's hard to get into all the crazy amount of relationships.
Yeah, no, you got to go all the way back to real world.
Real world.
You do. Because the real world's great. I've been watching the reunion for LA. It's great.
Okay.
Y'all are crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy business.
Well, I am open to having a final podcast next week after the finale if you want. It's up to you guys. Because I'm definitely gonna have a rant after the finale.
It depends. It depends.
You know,
I'm not gonna sit here if Deshaun. I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe I would sit here for an hour. But if it's like Heather, like I'm not coming on.
It's Heather. I'm coming on if it's Heather. I'm coming on.
For your bragging rights, Mike.
It's just gonna be you and Mike.
You know what? Actually, I guess it's gonna happen because I think any winner would be like a good conversation because either we'll hate it or we'll love it or we'll be like, what the fuck is this? Like it's one of the three.
Honestly, I think the one that would have the least content would be if Ricard won, because we'd all just be like,
We'd
great
just be
job,
like,
Ricard, well
"Yay."
deserved. 3 minutes, we're out.
Thank you.
That's
Well
true.
deserved. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I feel like something will happen to be of interest. Like it'll be like, wow, isn't it crazy how Deshaun put his letter on backwards and that's why he lost? Like, you know, like something interesting probably.
That would only be a second of conversation as well.
I'm stretching it here.
No, we don't have it. We gonna do it. We gonna do it. Yeah, we
No,
gonna do
Deshaun
it.
wanting the letters from home. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't see how editing's trying to paint this guy?
They are trying to paint him.
They are
as
trying
so
to make-
sorry
they
for
are-
Deshaun.
They're trying to make him look like the best dude. Like it's
Danny's the best dude.
Like I don't want no chicken and vegetables. I want a letter. Like no, you don't. No, you
They've
don't.
only been there for a month. All right.
20 days,
Get over
bro.
it.
It's been 20 days.
Not
It's been
really.
20
Bro.
It's
People
a
leave on
vacation
work
right
trips
now.
all the time. Meg was gone for like a month from her family for just her last
You don't
trip.
want no letter.
Just shy of 2 weeks. Like half of the time they've been there.
All right,
Could've
any
given
last
2
thoughts?
bucks about a letter.
No, this
Man.
season's been crazy. Season's been
Yeah.
Also,
This
I,
season has
meant,
the weirdest edits.
I meant to mention this earlier, and I heard rumors they're having a Celebrity Survivor coming in a few months, so I guess we'll see what that is.
A celebrity
After
As
Celebrity
a-
Big Brother.
Like as a season of like 43 or like a new thing.
And that's a new thing.
like
I mean,
they're
it's
gonna
gonna be C-listers. Like that's the problem.
Celebrities
And
don't
they're
even do
not
I
well.
love Celebrity Big Brother, so I would
Celebrities
fine.
don't even do well on slop. I couldn't imagine how they would have to do
Right?
if they ration them on rice and stuff. Oh, that
You know what? I would see Leo DiCaprio doing this shit and taking it
He's
serious.
not. He's not. You're never gonna get
Would
anyone
totally
win.
do it.
Never be on reality TV.
It would be no. I'm saying like if he would. He would do something like Survivor. Like he tackles roles that are like the Revenant. Like he would do some bullshit like this. He wouldn't be on reality TV, absolutely. But I'm saying
He's
like,
way too busy
would.
trying to solve global warming. Okay.
No, we're getting
He's
we're
not.
getting
That's a front.
we're getting Ray J and
Yeah.
we're gonna get like,
Ray J
Thank
and
you,
Ken
Ray
Ken.
J.
like, you can
Some
bet-
random
Ray J and
YouTuber.
Ken Ken.
Oh
one
yeah,
of the, one of the Paul brothers. It's gonna be.
Oh no.
we're getting like the worst YouTubers. We're getting one
Yeah,
that
it's
had like
gonna be
controversy.
crazy.
We're getting, like
Dawson.
Shane Dawson. Come on, bro.
No, not
Dawson
Shane Dawson.
confirmed.
He's gonna find
We
a
called
pig
it here
on the
first.
island.
But I will say I am looking forward to Celebrity Big Brother, but we'll see about Celebrity Survivor.
Mm.
Anyway, I guess until next week, I will have a rant after the finale either way, probably. But if we have the podcast as well, then I shall see you all next week.
Sounds good.
You